Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tailgating with Lot C. I'm Joe, and I'm joined today by Marcus.
How's it going?
And today we're serving up some food for thought on Double Masters, some other stuff, and let's get right into it.
All right.
So, we got a lot of really cool Double Master previews.
I'll say.
Now, what have we gotten in the last few days? Since the last podcast episode, I think we had Monday spoilers, and that was it.
Yeah, we've gotten plenty of spoilers since then. A lot of cards that I'm really looking forward to. Land Tax is one that's amazing. I think we had Exploration on that day, which, but we have Walking Ballista. Ding, 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 ding.
Predicted by yours truly, Marcus.
Big Brain. While we're talking about that, Filter Lands. Ding, 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 ding. Big Brain, even bigger brain.
That's true.
Right
I was hoping they were going to be the shock lands or the fast
Yeah,
lands.
Fast Lands would have been nice.
Some of those filter lands.
$30.
The Azorius one.
Yeah, Mystic Gates, 30 bucks. A lot of them are like 30, almost $35.
So it's nice to bring the price down on those so that when we build our budget commander decks, we have more options.
True. I don't know if they'll fall below 10, maybe 5, but either way, at least they're at least more affordable, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had a lot of other. I mean, Avacyn was reprinted today. Blood Moon, great card.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Blood Moon fan.
The box topper art for Blood Moon looks
It's really nice.
awesome.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
like
awesome.
Lovecraftian. It just really, I guess, accentuates what the card does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just like a whole area that looks like it's totally been ruined by
that
by the
plateau almost
moon.
looks like it's boiling. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Death Shadow was reprinted today, which is really nice as well.
Death Shadow, we had Batterskull, we had
Stormforge
Mystic.
There's some modern cards for all those players that all you modern players are like, oh, there's too many commander cards. Well, there's your modern cards. Ballista was a modern card.
Cards.
It's like there's more commander cards. There's a bigger pool for commander. They need more cards anyway. So honestly, it's not that big a deal in my opinion.
Goblin Guide was another
Goblin
one
Guide.
today.
Yeah, I forgot about Goblin
for
Guide.
modern.
How much is that? $10 plus right now?
Goblin Guide is
last time I saw, I think it was like 15.
About
but that was a while
bucks.
back. That's still good reprint.
The cheapest one you can get is the Modern Masters 2017 one.
So
about
for
$11.
That's really nice too, especially because if you're trying to get into modern, the deck type you go into almost always is burn. Everyone starts out in burn a lot of the time.
And
now Goblin Guide, you can make a budget deck with it.
When the modern meta gets shaken up, what do people play?
Burn.
They play
Absolutely.
Burn.
So now for all the people that want to play a budget burn deck, maybe you can actually make a $50 deck with Goblin Guides.
Very true.
Because maybe it'll go down $3 or so. So that's really nice reprint. But yeah, there's almost countless cards that we could talk about that have been reprinted. There's so many expensive cards.
The way I'm gonna go through it is I'm gonna kind of start back at Tuesday.
Sure.
And I'll just kind of pick out a couple of the
expensive and good ones.
More noteworthy.
Notable ones. Sure.
So starting off, we got Sneak Attack.
Sneak Attack is an amazing one. That one's
super cool in the
it's huge commander card.
The Sneak and Show Legacy deck.
Yeah, Legacy
too.
And Commander. I know that I've always wanted to make a commander deck with a new Perforos from Theros Beyond Death, who has the ability, and that if I want to make that deck eventually, perfect card to go in.
Definitely.
So that's a fantastic reprint.
Yeah, and that's about a $25 card. So I imagine the reprint will definitely help bring that down by a few bucks.
Yeah, I hope so.
We also got Noble Hierarch.
Oh, I forgot about Noble Hierarch. There's a modern card right there for you.
Yeah,
how much is it now? 40 each, probably? Maybe 25, but at one point it was 100 per. Yeah,
well, back when like Banned Spirits was going nuts.
Spirits and Humans were number one ish.
Right now it's about the Ultimate Masters version is $23. But again, it's been a few days since the preview came out, which has forced these cards to just drop in price.
Absolutely.
We also got Cyclonic Rift reprint.
Yeah, perfect commander card
with a beautiful box topper.
Yeah, that box topper looks really, really nice. It's like an aura coming toward it. It looks like it's in a laboratory or something like that, and just like swirling towards. It's amazing.
It's like it's the embodiment of Izzet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this sort of like factory or laboratory with, and it's a $30 card.
Yeah, I think it's almost 40. I think at this point, or has it dropped since then? I know before it was previewed, it was like $37.
Currently, after the preview, the Double Masters version, which who knows what that'll end up being in reality once the set comes out. But Modern Masters and Commander 2014 are around $30,
Yeah,
$34
there. Yeah,
between there.
it's a modern or a commander
Commander
staple
staple.
because I know I bought one like 8 months ago for like 17 to $19,
Mhm.
and it's doubled in price since then before this preview came out. So that was a very necessary reprint in my opinion.
In the last year or so, I think Commander has just skyrocketed in
Yeah, I think that
popularity
Arena's helped that hilariously. Even though there's no commander on Arena, it's brought so many new just faces to
to the
Magic
game
entirely.
itself.
And then once people like see a little bit, they like, I like personally, I don't play as much arenas nearly as much as I used to.
Mhm.
But now that I've like play a lot more Commander, it's like it's definitely the biggest form that I play now. I still dabble in Modern a lot.
I've been playing Arena constantly
Yeah,
because of Historic.
yeah, not standard, I imagine.
No, yeah, Standard is kind of dead to me until rotation because Team of Reclamation
Yeah, that
is
deck's disgusting. They're
horrible.
boring. Yeah, there's
It's
so many
horrible.
boring decks.
We also got Brea. We got
Yeah,
Path to
Breya's a good
Exile. We
Path to
got
Exile.
Skittles.
Lightning Greaves is a good uncommon reprint as well. Fatal Push with a new box topper art. That's amazing. I love that. Fatal Push is probably one of my most play. It's one of the cards that I own the most of since I play, as people know. Hopefully, black is my most play color. Fatal Push, the best black removal, arguably probably the best removal spell in all of Modern, maybe.
Pretty close.
It's one of the top three. So, that's a great reprint, especially with box topper.
For 1 mana, it's probably the best you're going to get.
Pretty much
Unless
Beyond Path, and even
Beyond
then,
Path to Exile, of course. But then
yeah,
again, Revolt's pretty easy to trigger with fetch lanes.
absolutely.
So, we also got Dark Confidant.
Dark Confidant, modern card. I mean, again, that like Noble Hierarch at one point when the Rock was like top 3, top 2 decks, $100 card, almost 120, I think, at one point.
It was
expensive.
insanely expensive. Very
Because
expensive.
the Rock was like an $1,800 modern deck at that point. It was ridiculous.
Mhm.
It was insane.
On Tuesday, we also got Dark Depths and Thespian Stage.
And Vampire Hex Mage.
Vampire Hex
Yep,
Mage,
yep.
yep.
Legacy combo there for all you Legacy players. Hopefully you can makes it a bit better for you. Even though as far as Legacy cards go, I don't think any of those were like the most entirely expensive because there's a lot more expensive Legacy cards, but still needed reprints are fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of the cards that kind of accompany the land deck with Dark Depths are more expensive than Dark Depths itself.
Original
which
duels.
was a $20 card.
Yeah. So as far as cards
Still
that
a
you can
great
reprint, pretty good.
And it'll be really interesting seeing some limited play with Dark Depths and Vampire Hex Mage and Thespian Stage.
Yeah, for all you draft players, that'll be really
in
interesting.
the limited pool that you could possibly pack. I mean, imagine that.
Yeah, that'll be really
awesome.
interesting.
Some other ones that we got: Crop Rotation.
Crop Rotation's a good card.
Wrath of God reprinted with a pre-release promo.
Hopefully, a Damnation accompanies that soon because that card has gone up a lot in the last couple of months.
Nice.
I think it was at like 25
Mhm.
like a few months ago, and I think it's up near 40 now. And like that card also would love a reprint of that card.
Yeah. We got Vengevine.
Vengevine, great card.
Meddling Mage with the box topper art to go with it.
Nice. Makes humans a bit cheaper.
Trinisphere.
Trinisphere's a good one as well. Yeah, of course.
Academy Ruins.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm especially happy about Academy Ruins. I love playing Artifact Synergy deck, so that's just even better for me.
And the sort of Atlantis-esque look
to
the
box
new box topper art
it's
for it
amazing.
looks really awesome.
Am I going to buy that one? Probably not because it's probably going to be quite expensive, but a reprint is at least something.
Yeah, I would imagine that box topper is going to be probably around 70.
A lot of these box toppers are going to be
$70.
expensive.
Yeah, a lot of these box toppers, it's like I'm looking at them and I go, okay, that'll be cool to look at and cross the table for me when the stores finally open up.
When I'm playing against that 45-year-old middle-aged guy who's got, oodles of money to spend on Magic decks, and I'm just sitting here with my
part-time
Pyromancer. Yeah. It's just like, well. And then I'll beat him and I'll be like, whatever.
And then Wednesday was the day that all the filter lands were reprinted.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Or I should say not all the ally filter lands.
The ones that really need one. Even though I think
the more expensive ones.
Yeah,
obviously like
I would
the Rakdos one was really cheap, but
I thought that wasn't, was it? Graven Cairns, I think is the name of it.
Graven Cairns. Well, okay, I shouldn't say really cheap. I mean, it was still like $5 or so, but it had been reprinted a couple times in some commander sets recently.
Right, Fetid Heath and a bunch of the other ones were in 25, I think. So yeah.
We also got Blasphemous Act, which is another commander staple. It's like the Cyclonic Rift of Red.
Pretty much as
Basically,
close as close you can get.
as far as its, I guess like staying power in Commander, it's like, oh, if you're playing red, you're probably going to want to play Blasphemous Act
Yeah, unfortunately, you're
because
playing red. Your board wipes are very limited, so you're going to play, your Blasphemous Axe, your chain reactions, and I think another one nice one that you got from Jumpstart was Immolating Gyre. That one's a really nice one if you're playing a lot of instants and sorceries.
that is true. Yeah.
So,
Rolling Earthquake was also reprinted alongside of Blasphemous Act, which is just another kind of good mana sink board wipe for red.
hmm.
We also got Court of Calling reprinted on Wednesday.
Yeah, I got to like Court of Calling. Maybe there'll be a War of Invention too then.
That would be pretty sweet.
It's not too expensive, but why not? I mean, if you're going to do both, why not?
And then moving on, we got Mox Opal reprinted.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, of course.
That's massive for EDH and Legacy.
Legacy players, yeah. Luckily,
Mox Opal's also really heavily played in Vintage too. So
of course.
You got that with a box topper that is super creepy, super cool.
Mm.
Ensnaring Bridge.
Oh yeah,
Bauble.
Bauble's such a great uncommon. Speaking of Metalcraft on Mox Opal, I think yesterday or today was spoiled. Pure Steel Paladin, the one at zero, some equipments or 0 mana to spend. That's a great one too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good one.
Yeah, and it seemed like that day was sort of the artifact theme because we got Ensnaring Bridge, we got Mishra's Bauble, we got Mox Opal, we got Forge Master,
Oh yeah,
as
Godolphin
well
Forge
as
Master. I love Godolphin Forge
Sword of
Master.
Ice and Fire.
Yeah, they're a really good sword. Yeah, when they saw War, I think War and Peace was the one that was originally spoiled. I was like, okay, that's a good one. I think Ice and Fire is definitely the most expensive. I think
It's gotta be.
It's the best one. I think
It's certainly the most played
because it bolts and it draws right.
Mhm.
So which is just like really really good.
What else did we get? We got Thrag Tusk.
Right. Yeah. Maybe not the most necessary reprint, just like Mere Battlesphere, but they're good commander cards. It's good to keep them cheap.
And then as we move forward a little bit, we see Basilisk Collar.
Love Basilisk Collar.
We
Great
see
commander card.
Walking Ballista, of course, as we
Yes,
mentioned.
thank goodness. Now I can actually afford a couple.
Yeah, Walking Ballista is a really
because it's played
really
in
heavily
Legacy,
played.
Modern,
It's played in every
Command. It's pretty much played in everything. It's
Pioneer.
legal
I mean, it's played in almost all the formats besides Standard, Historic, whatever.
And then,
but
I don't know if it's in Vintage or not, but I mean, it could
I
be.
imagine with how powerful it is,
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's so good.
Sure, they played in Vintage too. And then speaking of powerful cards, that same day we also got Force of Will reprinted.
Yes, thank goodness. I'm hoping for a couple of these cards that are just big. Force of Will 100 plus. I mean, when you're making a box like $315, you need a couple of these cards.
Yeah, Force of Will was easily $130.
Yeah, it's crazy
when it was when the preview came out.
So yeah, and not only does it get a regular reprint, it gets a box topper as well.
Yeah, the box topper Force of Will actually looks really sweet.
I don't know if you saw on Twitter the artist who actually did that art. He did a full painting of it, and I saw the tweet of it. It's so beautiful.
I haven't seen it. We'll have to put
really
it up
nice.
on screen.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, Force of Will. I mean, it's one of those cards that I just have kind of accepted. I'll never be able to afford. Right?
Yeah,
but
plus also you're not playing the formats normally it's in. Luckily,
true.
Except for
Although
Commander,
it's
still could play
a staple. The nice thing is though is that for anyone that would want to pick up a Force of Will, it's probably going to drop down to below 100 now, at least.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully to 50
around,
maybe.
I would say, I think 50 might. I think that'd be a little low. I would say more like around the $75 mark.
My only thing is again, it's only played in really Commander, Legacy, and Vintage, and I don't know how many. So if you go to play Legacy, buying just a Force of Will, it's okay, I can do that, but then I got to buy all these other duels and everything else. So it's the price barrier, even with just a Force of Will drop, would not be enough to make somebody be like, all right, well maybe I'll try Legacy now because it's just not fathomable.
Well, certainly not, but I think that the price drop will.
But a lot of Commander players might look for it, so
is who's going to.
We'll see. I hope it drops a lot, but we'll see.
Especially how much Commander players will have to bling out their decks with that box topper version.
Yeah,
there's going to be a few people doing that.
True.
We also got a Giora.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Giora. She is, I don't know, for people that don't know, she is one of my favorite commanders. I am a huge Artifact Synergy fan. I love Tezzeret Master of the Bridge or Tezzeret Artifice Master, all those different kind of cards. So she's one of my favorites. So I'm really happy with that reprint.
I thought it was unique because she was just printed in Dominaria, which came out
years ago.
Yeah, very recent. None of these reprints really are from sets that came out that recently.
No, not a lot of them.
So it was kind of interesting to see that she already got a reprint, and it just kind of goes to show how popular of a commander she is.
Yeah, she is very powerful.
We also got on the same day as Giora Manamorphose.
Yeah, another great reprint. Is it? It's at uncommon. This I think has it always been uncommon?
Yes, yeah, it's
Okay.
at uncommon. Yeah,
So yeah, for that's a great reprint because I know that for an uncommon, I mean, I think it was at 20 at most at Arclight Phoenix's big time
yeah. When Arclight Phoenix was top of the modern meta, it was definitely pushing $20
for an uncommon, which
for an
is
uncommon.
insane.
Like that shouldn't happen ever.
No.
Of course, once Phoenix was, nerfed by the banning of faithless looting, it quickly dropped in price, but it's still a staple in the mono red prowess.
Storm
Storm
plays it,
plays it.
almost certain.
So it's still a very popular card being played in modern. So
Yeah.
that's why it's kind of held its value at around $5 now, which this reprint will put it down to close to the bulk rare or
Yeah.
bulk uncommon range.
Well, which is great.
Yeah, which is awesome for someone who likes to build a lot of budget decks. It's always nice to see some of these powerful cards kind of be pushed into that range.
Mm.
We also got Pented Prism, Dark Steel, Citadel.
Yep, great.
Reprinted.
Nice cards.
Spellskite.
Spellskite, yeah, that was at like 10. Phyrexian Revoker also got one, not quite as expensive as Spellskite, but I know Spellskite was pushing like $10. So that's a really nice reprint. It's put a lot of sideboard cards in modern.
Yeah, great sideboard tech. We also got Slumbering Isle was reprinted. That was an expensive card.
Right.
I mean that was around $15, I think, before
Right. What's
preview.
that's his name starts with an A, correct?
Arixmethes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. He's a really, really powerful commander. He's crazy powerful.
We also got Chromatic Star, which
I called that
you
one.
called that one,
Chromatic
along with Ichor Wellspring.
Love Ichor Wellspring. Great card.
And then starting to get closer to the weekend, we got Fatal Push, as we mentioned earlier, with a really nice box topper on
that
it.
one. I'm incredibly happy about that one. A lot of great uncommon reprints in this set, which I'm especially happy about because that means if you buy packs, you're hopefully going to get a lot of these cards, which is fantastic. Because if you want to play modern, you just open these packs and then you get like a couple of Fatal Pushes, a couple of Manamorphos, a couple of Mountain Baubles. It's just like it's so nice.
Definitely.
So that'll be fantastic.
And then that pretty much, I think, does it as far as leading up to today. And then, of course, today we got Avenger of Zendikar, which I gotta love because Zendikar Rising comes out soon.
Yeah, it's a green commander staple also, so that's a nice reprint.
Like you mentioned, we got Death Shadow, we got Lightning Greaves, we got Basalt Monolith.
Yeah, that's a really popular commander card too.
We got Vishkal reprinted. He was a pretty expensive card. Very popular in Commander as well.
I forgot about that card. He's a great aristocrat.
Hidden Stockpile, just another cheap card.
I like that's
great in aristocrat style.
Yeah, it's one of my pet
well.
favorite cards. It's just fun.
Brainstorm reprinted.
Yeah, can't complain about that. It's like $1 common card, which means it's pretty well played. Every legacy staple played in I played in so many commander decks. So great reprint.
And then we move on to Ravenous Trap.
Yeah, that's the one with the head scratcher. Why they need to reprint it in the first place, I'm not quite sure. I would have been fine with a reprint. I don't know why they pushed it to rare. That is such a head scratcher.
It makes no sense.
Because it's just gonna punish people that buy packs because you already got reprints like, although I like Thragtusk, I like Mirror Battlesphere, but it's like Bosch Iron Golem, 15 cents. I like Bosch, but he is not expensive. So if you open a pack with Bosch and Ravenous Trap, you'll feel really bad.
That's gonna feel really bad.
You better get like 2 Fatal Pushes, 2 Manamorphos to make up for that.
Right, because initially you're thinking, oh, each booster has 2 rares in it. That's awesome.
You gotta get something.
But over time, some of the rares that they've been putting out have been a little questionable, especially, purely value-wise. And then when they take an uncommon, which is very cheap, and throw it into a rare slot.
Like, why wouldn't you do that for like Manamorphos, if anything?
Right. It kind of doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, especially because the fact is, like, I would have been fine with an uncommon reprint of it. I mean, it's a decent graveyard hate card in modern sideboards.
Right.
It makes sense, and like more like mill maybe or other stuff like that. But Not at a rare. It makes no sense.
Not at a rare. And then like you mentioned, we got Avacyn,
Yeah,
we got Maze of Ith reprinted,
good cards.
which is fantastic. Commander staple. It's a $20 plus card.
I think also the last thing I want to say about the Ravenous Trap is, if any of them, why wouldn't you reprint Archive Trap?
Mm-hmm.
Archive Trap is, I'm pretty sure, at least over $10 because it's the best card in mill pretty much.
Oh yeah,
Why wouldn't you reprint that one out of all of them?
very true.
I'm very, very just puzzled at overall.
Yeah. So yeah, Ravenous Trap kind of being printed at a rare sort of brings up the next topic of discussion. I mean, beyond all the incredible previews that we've gotten, with more to come because we still have until the 30th for previews. So we have all week pretty much to look at all these. We kind of get to the question of value when it
Hmm.
comes to double masters.
Right.
A lot of people have been bringing up uh, the price for these packs, not just the price of the box, not just the price of the VIP packs, but the fact that a single booster
Yeah.
is around the $15 price.
Yeah. Not even touching the subject that VIP boosters are $120,
Yeah, yeah.
which
So,
is, I don't even know if I can comment because it's just insane, to be honest.
and then you have some of the choices that they've made with the box toppers being printed, printing commons or uncommons at rare level and 4 box
Yeah.
toppers.
Your expedition maps and whatnot.
And I know WotC kind of apologized for their lack of clarity when it came to that.
Hmm.
And a lot of people are also upset because the box topper distribution is not working the same way as it did in Ultimate Masters for Double Masters. It's going to be more likely for you to pull a rare box topper than a mythic rare box topper,
Right.
which in Ultimate Masters, a box topper was a box topper. If you pulled a Lava Claw Reaches,
That was rough.
it sucked, but at the very least, you had the same odds to pull a Tarmogoyf or a
Or Liliana the
Liliana.
Veil. Right. Of course.
So a lot of people are a little bit upset about that when it comes to purchasing the VIP packs to get those 2 box toppers, knowing that you're most likely going to be not getting one of those mythics,
Hmm.
which I understand where they're coming
Yeah.
from.
It is upsetting.
If you're spending that much money, you think you want that much value.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're spending $315, which is pricey. And at the end of the day, the cardboard that they reprint does not cost them any much more money. Like reprinting that Jace, the Mind Sculptor, does not cost them any more much money than reprinting that Manamorphose, or reprinting that Bosch. The same difference, pretty much. Maybe a little bit more, effort on their end to make the box topper version, but it's like Bosch, just because it's worth like 400 times less than Jace doesn't mean it takes any more to reprint it. So at the end of the day, just be a little bit more generous. I think it is a bit ridiculous.
Something that some people have been pointing out, which I agree with, is that it seems like WotC's trying to dip their hands in that third party market,
Exactly. The second, yeah, it's real. It
like the
is.
secondhand
It
market.
is really shady the fact that they won't just reprint all these valuable cards, but it's like, well, if you're not going to acknowledge the secondary market at all, as they always keep saying they do, just reprint the expensive cards. Then why not?
Then it's time to start reprint the fetch lands, reprint them in a standard set, get them out there, drop the prices down. People are going to buy those sets like crazy,
Yeah.
and that's where you're going to make up the money.
Yeah.
Because obviously, WotC doesn't make any money off the secondhand market,
Hmm.
and they know that. So what they are trying to do here is kind of take a piece of that, which at a business level, I understand, but it's also a game that they're making.
Yeah. And it's going to turn away a lot of players.
It's going to turn away a lot of players when they realize that WotC's kind of, I'm not want to say money grubbing,
Eh,
but
they are.
they are,
They are.
especially
It's
with this
scummy.
in this situation.
Yeah.
It is very scummy.
Yeah. Especially it's because of the fact that like they're already being a little bit dirty with all the insider trading that's happened over the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
With Pioneer especially, that was so shady what
Oh, yeah.
happened. And they are obviously a lot of internal discussions were happening from WotC staff to other people. The reasons why Aetherworks, Marvels, and all these other cards shot up in price
Instantly.
and it's like,
Yeah.
You guys already are kind of operating with dirty hands here. It's like, why not just work a little bit hard to be clean,
Right.
But it's just like, I don't know if it's Hasbro intervention in this kind of thing or where it comes from, but it's just like it's really shameful to watch and see happen, all this kind of stuff.
It is. And I think that if you buy a box with what we have previewed so far, you're probably going to come out just fine.
I think so. I think that a lot of people, yeah, that is something else to be said. A lot of these people, there's a lot of Magic people on Twitter, which you say Magic Twitter is so toxic, but it's like so many of them are just like, oh, here's this and this and that. It's like, okay, at the end of the day, there are so many expensive reprints. You're getting 2 per pack. You're going to get your land taxes and your Jason the Mind Sculptors. You're going to get something. There are so
Right.
many expensive cards.
Yeah, the preview pool that we have so far
Yeah, there's still
is
4 days.
is nuts, and we still have a few more days to go. I believe that if you purchase a box, you're gonna make it out fine.
I do too. I don't think you'll make less than $250 back. At least.
At least. If you purchase a VIP pack,
I don't know how that's gonna go.
that's when you start to question the value for what you're putting in. $100, and if you pull a $20 Urza land box topper or a probably $20 expedition map box
It's like,
topper,
yeah, it's like,
that's when it starts to become an issue with the distribution of box topper rares versus mythics. When it comes to the boxes themselves or purchasing just a pack itself, I think you're always going to make it out
yeah,
at least even
yeah,
at the lowest
yeah.
level.
Unless you hit a pack and you really get that unlucky pull with your, say, Bosch Ravenous Trap, then it's like, yeah. But that's the deal. That's what happens with
Well,
packs.
that's the
Even if you
thing,
buy a $4 booster pack and you're gonna get that rare back that's worth nothing,
right?
you're still losing money.
At the end of the day, any time you open a pack, you're gambling.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
Obviously,
nothing's changed about that.
if you're opening a pack just to see what you get, which
Yeah,
is what the majority of people do when they're packing from master sets, you know, limited obviously is a huge factor to it as well.
mhm.
But the majority of people that are going to be buying these boxes and buying these packs are going to be doing it for the thrill of what am I going to get?
Yeah, and that's the one thing also about Magic Twitter that annoys me is everyone's talking about the financial value you're getting back. It's like, oh, you're probably not getting this back and this and that. It's like, well, yeah, I guess you've mentioned nothing has changed about booster packs. They've always been a gamble, and it's always been said, no matter what's come out, if you buy booster packs to try to get certain cards, you're an idiot. Like that's just a simple fact. If you go in trying to buy a double Masters pack, being like, well, I need a Jason the Mind Sculptor for my deck,
Mm-hmm.
you're stupid. You
Yeah,
should just save your money and try to get the Jace on the single market from your TCG player,
right.
Karkin, or what have you. Like, if people are trying to use this information to be like, oh, well, then Watsi's doing bad here, but it's also like that's your problem. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time, it's just don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid with your money. If you want one or two cards from
Yeah,
double masters, you're going to be much better off. Let the set come out, let the prices drop,
buy your
buy them
singles.
while they're low, buy your singles.
Yeah, if you want to have fun, spend $100 for 5 of these packs, see what you get. That's all you.
That's
That's all.
fine.
But it's always how it's been. If you wanted to buy 5 Ixalan packs when they came out for $20 and see what you get, maybe get that Search Res Kanta or whatever, that was on you. Nothing has changed just because the price is more.
Right.
It's like you can't use that argument.
And the
I'm
only thing
sorry.
that really has changed is the fact that you do get extra rares in
Yeah,
this pack,
they are
which
trying to help
is
you a little
why
bit.
the price has gone up.
Yeah, they're trying to help you a little bit. So you can't just bash WotC for everything. We've bashed WotC a little bit here, and we will continue to when they make mistakes. But
Right.
you got to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's just a lot of fairness coming from a lot of the Magic community. However, one thing I think they can criticize them on is the foil or the full art and full art lands in the VIP boosters is a very questionable decision. When have full art lands ever been a special thing beyond like unstables and whatnots? They've always been in the booster packs normally. Every Zendikar and the Theros packs, they're always just in the regular boosters. How is this
Well, especially you have Zendikar Rising coming out soon.
which there better be full art lands? It's tradition.
There has to be full art
Yeah.
lands in a Zendikar
There's no way they can get
Rising
away
set.
with it.
And then you get these Noah Bradley.
Yeah, these sexual predator Noah Bradley full art lands.
Which that's a whole other can of worms too.
Yeah,
with
I
him.
understand that, they're 1 or 2 years previous to actually releasing sets. They can make the call, but it's also
Right.
like, so
Yeah, that is a questionable thing because how valuable are those? They're like under $1 a
yeah,
piece. I'm
something like
sure. Maybe a couple of them might be over $1,
that. Mm-hmm.
if that. Are those really worth the VIP price tag?
Right.
The what is it? Unhinged? Is the other
unhinged or
ones
unsanctioned or unglued, any of
unglued? It
them.
could have been any of them
Yeah,
that they could have added instead of the Noah Bradley ones.
yeah. Unstable. Why aren't they all like all unstable or unhinged lands? I would have much preferred those.
Yeah, I'd love to get some
Which
more
ones on
unglued
demand
lands.
because all the unstable lands are like $3 each.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've spent a lot of money on those.
Yeah.
You know, these unsanctioned lands, like $3 pretty much each to get one. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those would have been a lot more, you know, of a reward.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get all Zendikar, Noah Bradley, Sexual Predator lands in the pack, you get $12 maximum out
Right.
of your 12 lands, maybe more because they're foil. You put unstable ones in there. If you get minimum 12 of the non-foil ones, which and some of them are foil, that's $36 back right there. And then if they're foil, maybe if that's like 6 of them, you know, that gets you 30. The other 6 get you, that's like almost $50 value right there. That should have been way more fair. And again,
Mm-hmm.
it's cardboard.
Yeah.
It takes some not very little effort to reprint these special lands rather than just any other card.
Right.
It would have been so much more fair if you're going to do
agree.
full art lands. It's so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a good criticism for you.
Only thing I can think of is that Noah Bradley artwork is going to go up in price in maybe about 10 years.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So for all you investors, there you go. You know, depends on how where your morals lie is really the question.
Yeah, we shouldn't see any more artwork from him anytime soon.
No,
So
no,
I guess it's the silver lining.
I guess
If there's
not
one.
much of a silver lining either way. But yeah, so I think that's the problem with double masters in my opinion for the most part. But well, I mean, there's still previews to come.
Still previews to come. I'm very excited for it. I love preview spoiler
Yeah.
seasons. It's like one of the best times to be not only a Magic player, but to be into this new content creation thing that we're doing here.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of fun to have just exciting things to talk about and just be excited. Like when I wake up and I'm like, let me check my phone.
Mhm.
What's going on? What's new? What's been reprinted? What are people saying about it? It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for Double Masters still.
Yeah. The only people who might be are these collector people, which get over it.
Oh, your
All you
Karn
people-
collection went down in
Yeah.
value a little bit. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I own 10 Fatal Pushes. They were like $3 to $5 each when I had them. Now it'll be $1. I'm not angry. There's a game. I want more people to play the game. So,
Yeah, collecting is a huge part about it. It's a trading
Yeah.
game, trading card game.
But-
I understand that.
but if you're buying like 100 Karn Liberateds that aren't even like special, why?
Yeah, I remember specifically seeing a tweet that someone posted where they were just absolutely just distraught at M21 reprinting Ugin,
Hmm.
and they showed a picture of their table where they had probably over 100 Ugin Spirit Dragon
Yeah,
cards, and I'm just like,
you're stupid.
you had to know that this staple, this incredibly popular card, played in almost every format, was going to be reprinted at some point. Does it suck a little extra for him that it happened to be reprinted in a standard set so that its price drops even further?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But also, what are you doing? Your only thing you're doing, there's no point collecting the same card over and over again for $100. Because not only is it, or whatever, how many number it is or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're just hurting other people trying to buy the card. You're
True.
moving them off the market.
Yeah.
Stop buying the same card.
What do you need
You
past
fool.
a playset?
You fool.
Get a playset of each printing and call it a day.
Yeah. It's
And
like,
when they reprint the card, just be happy knowing that you have the original printing.
yeah.
That's an awesome thing. And I get in a few years, it's just going to go back up in price more.
Yeah. And if you like Ugin so much, why don't you get like a portrait done of him or special altars?
True.
Whatever. Either way, screw that guy.
All right.
Moving on.
So we have about 4 more days of previews for Double Masters. We've gotten a lot of really awesome cards so far, but we haven't gotten every card that we want
Right.
necessarily so far. So, Mark, what are some last minute predictions that you have for Double Masters?
There are a few cards that I certainly would like to see reprinted. One of, as I've talked about in the last podcast, I really hope I see a Chalice of the Void reprint.
Mm-hmm.
Although it is a really annoying card to play against. It's expensive, and it's played in a lot of different decks in Legacy and Modern. It would be really nice to see a reprint of that for sure.
We got Blood Moon.
Yeah.
We got Ensnaring Bridge.
Wrath of God.
We got
All these cards that are played in Boros Prison all the time.
right. So you'd think Chalice of Void makes
Why
sense
not?
coming up
Yeah,
next.
so hopefully that happens. I would love to see that as a reprint.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughtseas, again, really want a Thoughtseize reprint. I know
Yeah.
that the price went down. It's more around the 20 to 18 range now. That Pioneer's kind of going, "Neow."
Yeah.
But it's still an expensive card. It's a modern staple. I don't know about legacy staple. Maybe, maybe not. I don't play that much, but it's expensive. Please reprint it. There are a few other ones that are probably more commander staples here, though. The first one is, I think, I don't know, it should be in this set, not only for the theme of it, but because of the fact that it's double masters,
Mm-hmm.
is Parallel Lives. I think Parallel Lives needs a reprint. I don't know if you're aware of the card, but
I'm not aware of that
for
card.
those you don't see it on the screen now, it's an enchantment that from the original Innistrad, the rare, that says if an effect would put one or more tokens on the battlefield under control, it puts double those tokens. So
Okay.
it's doubling season, but it's one less mana and doesn't have the
Right.
counter thing.
And how much is that sitting at?
$20 each.
Yeah.
So, the wolf card art, really
Mhm.
nice. Needs a reprint, I think, because it's just a commander staple and it fits the theme perfectly.
For sure.
Needs a reprint, in my opinion.
Definitely.
The second one is Scroll Rack.
Mm-hmm.
Needs a reprint.
I agree with that one.
Last printed, it was in Kaladesh Inventions. Doesn't count. Those cards are all max super priced.
Oh, yeah.
Commander's Arsenal, and then the original was in Tempest. That's the only two reprintings it's had. It's currently sitting at $77 per
77.
for the cheapest. And for those who don't know, it's a commander staple that just allows you to basically set the top of your library in a certain order, which a lot of commanders care about.
Mm-hmm.
So that needs a reprint, in my opinion, heavily. Another one is Sensei's Divining Top. Again,
Oh, I wish.
it's a huge commander staple, only printed in, like, I think, Eternal Masters. And then it's original printing in Champions and Kamigawa. And then, of course, from the Vault, which, again, premier, printings.
Right.
Doesn't really count.
Don't really count.
Currently sitting at $39.95 for the Champions one and $50 for the Eternal Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Another commander staple.
Yeah, it's played in so many decks. That's just why its price just stays
Yeah.
up. That coupled with its limited printing.
Yeah, it absolutely needs a reprint, in my opinion. And then one more I would say definitely needs a reprinting is Survival of the Fittest. I believe Survival of the Fittest is played a lot in Vintage, and I'm not sure about Legacy, but it's played in Commander a lot too. And the cheapest one currently is $123 from Exodus. And then the next cheapest one is a Judge's Gift Card, which is at $563. It's a huge card played in Commander, played in Vintage and whatnot. It needs a reprint. No one's wants to spend $123 on a card like this, especially if you're playing a playset. It's crazy. So there were a few cards that I would like to see a reprint of, whether likely or not the Survival of the Fittest gets one or Scroll Rack, I don't know. But Parallel Lives, I think, guaranteed needs a reprint because of the fact of the theming and whatnot too.
Yeah.
Those are a few just expensive cards I'd love to see reprinted.
I would love to see any one of those. And hopefully in the next few days, we'll see a couple.
Hopefully. I don't know if you have any cards you're thinking of.
Honestly, Thoughtseize was one that I really wanted to be reprinted. I was hoping for Blood Moon a few days ago, and I got lucky enough for that, as well as Blasphemous Act. Beyond that, I kind of agree with your list, and I just hope to continue to get more of these kind of bombshell
Oh, yeah.
mythic rares.
A couple more. Mana Drain, I think we've talked about last time maybe, but if we haven't, reprint Mana Drain WotC. It's $120.
What they need to do is reprint it in Double Masters and reprint it in
Commander Legends. Yeah. I know Commander Legends is coming out, but for these Commander cards that are $100 plus, they need like 2 reprints. Mana Drain needs one. Gilded Drake, please, WotC. It's $200 per.
Mm-hmm.
No one's buying that card except for people that have like 6-figure salaries. Well,
True.
maybe not, but they shouldn't be.
Right.
Because if you're building a commander deck that has a $200 card in it, you're not buying like a budget deck otherwise.
Yeah.
It's like this, like those cards need to be reprinted.
Yeah, that card alone pays for the majority of the decks that I build.
Yeah. And another one I think also does off the top of my head is Cavern of Souls.
That would be a great reprint.
Cavern of Souls needs a reprint, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially with them trying to force out these sort of new tribal builds.
Absolutely.
With dogs and cats and goblins becoming better now.
You want to throw in another tribal card? Throw an Aether Vial as well.
Aether Vial would be a great reprint. Cavern of Souls. I agree.
And there's a lot more cards I can mention, but I think that those are a few for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like there's so many cards that still could need to be reprinted. I think what's another one from what's the one that was played in Banned Spirits a lot? Phantasmal Image.
Phantasmal
Why
Image.
not?
Sure.
Any of these cards
fits the theme perfectly too. Right?
Yeah.
Comes down and it copies.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
yeah, you got 2 of them.
there's so many expensive cards that could be new printed. A lot of blue ones too,
Mm-hmm.
like Bribery. That
Yeah,
card's expensive.
that'd be a really
There's
good one.
so many cards. But taking a break from all the editing work this is going to need. I think those are just a few.
Yeah, it's a lot of cards. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to put up on the
we'll,
screen for
we'll,
you guys to look at.
we'll limit it there. I think. But that's a bunch of cards that WotC still could easily need reprinted for
Definitely.
sure.
So yeah, in the comment section, let us know what are your favorite previews so far. What are you most excited about? What are some cards maybe that you would like to see
Yeah.
in the next few days be previewed? And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So thank you all for watching.
Be sure to pay your parking and have a good night.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It helps us out a ton. And if you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing. Make sure you follow us on all our social media at Coast Lizards, and have a fantastic day.